Action movies have always been about adrenaline. But behind the stunts and explosions are real people, larger-than-life stars who redefined what it means to be a hero on screen. From the sharp suits of James Bond to the grizzled street justice of Charles Bronson, every decade has had its king of action. But what happened to these legends? Some are still kicking butt, others are quietly battling health struggles, and some left us with unforgettable legacies. Stick around because by the end, you'll know where your favorite action star is today. And maybe even find out which ones are no longer with us. This is Curioclips. Let's dive in. Kirk Douglas was the golden age alpha, a war-hardened, sword-wielding, tough-talking titan of 1950s cinema. With that signature cleft chin and magnetic presence, he dominated westerns and war dramas. Behind the camera, he helped bring Spartacus to life, a film that stood up to the Hollywood blacklist. In 1996, he suffered a severe stroke, losing the ability to speak. But through intense rehab, he learned to talk again, and even returned to acting.
What do you wish for on your 98th birthday?
I would like to be 100.
I think that's a good answer. How about your son Michael? I sure do enjoy your son Michael. He's very nice all the time.
Michael, I never know where he is.
You don't? Does he ever surprise you? Like just,
But I never know
or
where.
behind you even, maybe.
What do you mean? Oh!
He lived to be 103 and passed away in February 2020, a true gladiator of cinema. Before the gadgets and Aston Martins were cool, Sean Connery was James Bond. He gave us the original 007, suave, deadly, and iconic. Connery also had a fierce temper off-screen. Once, he punched a paparazzo who got too close to his then-wife. He retired from acting in the early 2000s after The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and moved to the Bahamas. Sadly, Connery passed away peacefully in his sleep in 2020 at age 90, battling dementia in his final years. Charles Bronson was the original revenge machine. Grim, gritty, and unapologetically violent on screen. He made vigilante justice look stylish. Though known for stoic roles, off-screen he was a jokester and fiercely private. He hated interviews and once threatened to walk out of a press junket with a fake grenade as a prank. Bronson died in 2003 from pneumonia while suffering from Alzheimer's, but his shadow still looms large over modern action cinema. In the 80s, if it wasn't Schwarzenegger, it was Stallone. He was the underdog turned icon, both in Rocky and real life. Fun fact, he sold his dog to survive before making Rocky, then bought him back once the movie hit big. Stallone has had several surgeries due to stunt injuries, including major shoulder and back procedures. Today, he's still active in Hollywood, running his own streaming show, Tulsa King, and recently launched a reality show with his family. The Italian stallion isn't slowing down anytime soon. My wide Dax the better bred. He was the 90s, the Terminator himself. Arnold blended muscle with charm like no one else. But behind the steel exterior, heart surgery in 1997 and again in 2018. In fact, he recently revealed he flatlined during one procedure but was revived. He's now retired from politics and continues to act, advocate for climate change, and pump iron at 76. And yes, he still says, "I'll be back." The most bankable star of the decade, Dwayne turned wrestling mic drops into global box office dominance. He suffered multiple injuries from his WWE days, including torn quads and dislocated shoulders, but powers through. He's also an entrepreneur, launching energy drinks, tequila brands, and a fitness empire. Currently, he's gearing up for new movie roles, though his superhero stint with Black Adam fizzled. Still, he remains the people's champ. Keanu is the internet's favorite sad boy turned action god. With John Wick, he redefined modern action choreography with balletic brutality. Tragically, Keanu lost his girlfriend and daughter in the early 2000s, yet remains humble, kind, and zen-like. He's trained in jiu-jitsu, judo, and gun handling, often doing 90% of his stunts. Still acting, still kind, still badass. He's a modern action icon who never sold out. No list is complete without Bruce Lee, the man who made martial arts global. He only starred in a handful of films but changed the game forever. In 1973, he mysteriously died at just 32, with the cause still debated today, from heat stroke to a reaction to painkillers. Still, his philosophy, speed, and presence are unmatched. This guy does his own stunts, including climbing the Burj Khalifa and jumping out of airplanes mid-filming. At 62, Cruise shows no signs of stopping. He trains daily and has avoided major injuries despite death-defying work. His recent Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning was one of his most dangerous yet, but it only adds to his legend. The 2020s are roaring, and Jason Statham remains one of Hollywood's most relentless action stars. Since the early 2000s, he's owned the genre with iconic roles in The Transporter, Crank, The Mechanic, and The Expendables, always bringing bone-crunching fight scenes, high-speed stunts, and raw intensity.
Fans love his real martial arts skills, tough guy image, and that signature glare. Off-screen, he's just as disciplined. Jason once underwent surgery on his nose after breaking it during a stunt. Just one example of how committed he is to the action. He's married to model Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, and the two share a quiet life, raising their children, far from the chaos of his action-packed films. Now in his mid-50s, Statham still headlines adrenaline-fueled blockbusters like Fast X and Meg 2. With action movies rising once again, one thing's clear: Jason Statham isn't backing down anytime soon.
From swords and six-shooters to helicopters and hand-to-hand combat, action stars have evolved, but one thing stays the same: their ability to light up the screen and inspire generations. Whether they've passed on, slowed down, or are still breaking bones in box office records, these stars will always be action royalty. Which decade's hero is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Curioclips for more legendary breakdowns.